Sawasdee krap and welcome to the Thaiger. Today, Thailand News Today, last day of the week, or if you're watching this on the weekend, happy weekend. Plenty of news to get through today, so let's get started. Member states of the European Union have agreed to remove Thailand from the list of countries from which travellers can arrive freely during the pandemic. The EU operates a green list of countries which are currently only around 20 in number. Visitors from these countries, which includes the US, New Zealand, Canada and Japan, can enter the EU without mandatory quarantine. Now, yesterday the EU members agreed to add Ukraine to the green list while removing Thailand and Rwanda. The updating of the EU list will impact on potential European travellers to Thailand's Sandbox-style reopening plans for tourists. Travellers now would have to go through quarantine upon their return from Thailand. And countries may be added to the EU's green list if they report fewer than 75 COVID-19 infections per 100,000 people within the previous 14 days. During the height of the pandemic in March 2020, the EU shut its borders to non-essential travel, but now regularly updates the list of countries from which people can enter, even if they're not vaccinated. Thailand wants to attract the rich and are proposing a way to get more wealthy people to invest and live in the country. A scheme to offer long-stay visas to wealthy and high-skilled foreigners is in the works. The visa would allow a stay of up to 10 years and the participating foreigners would be able to own land and property in Thailand. The visa plan will be presented to the Thai cabinet soon. So far the scheme has been approved by the Centre for Economic Situation Administration in principle. The visa scheme is targeted at 4 types of wealthy foreigners: rich global citizens, rich retirees, rich professionals working in Thailand and highly skilled professionals. To be considered a rich global citizen, the foreigner must have invested at least $500,000, that's about 16.3 million baht, in government bonds, property or tourist-related investments. To be considered a rich global citizen, the foreigner must invest at least $500,000, that's about 16.3 million baht, in government bonds, property or foreign direct investment. Rich retirees must be 50 years old or older and invest $250,000 and have an annual income of at least US $40,000. You can check the rest of the proposal and all the details in today's story at thethaiger.com. Don't think I'm included in any of them. Contrary to the historically last-minute announcements regarding visas for foreigners in Thailand during the pandemic, the so-called COVID-19 visa has been extended nearly 2 weeks before its current July 29 expiration date. The new extension on the COVID-19 visa, allowing foreigners to stay long-term in the country, will allow people to continue on the special visa type until September. The COVID-19 visa was originally created to deal with the problem of foreigners who came to Thailand before the pandemic, then found themselves unable to travel home due to border closures, flight cancellations, travel restrictions or outbreaks in their home country. Many were stuck waiting for flight options to become available or restrictions at home to be lifted, so an amnesty was developed allowing foreigners to stay longer term than the normal 30 or 60-day standards usually allowed by Thai immigration. As Thailand's vaccination rollout plods along, with Sinovac vaccines reporting a low efficacy against the Delta variant of COVID and AstraZeneca's local production falling behind schedule, many nervous Thai citizens are looking to private hospitals and third-party groups importing more effective vaccines. This week, Thailand's Red Cross Society has struck a deal to import 1 million Moderna vaccines intended to be offered for free. The Thai Red Cross Society has negotiated a deal with Moderna to import the 1 million vaccines using the government pharmaceutical organisation as the required government middleman. The exact import time frame has not been finalised, but suspected that they'll arrive at the same time as Moderna's delivery of 5 million vaccines on order from the Private Hospital Association. Those are expected in the fourth quarter of this year, or maybe even the beginning of next year.
It's time to join the conversation. Thaiger Talk is our forum where you can share your thoughts and comments about all the news stories, as well as just about anything happening in Thailand. Just scroll down under any Thaiger story, click on Thaiger Talk, register, and you're in. It's time to join Thailand's fastest growing forum. So jump in and be part of the Thaiger Talk conversation.
The Thai PM, Prayut Chan-o-cha, has not contracted COVID-19 and has returned to work at Government House today. The PM had been self-isolating for 14 days after coming into contact with the president of the Surin Chamber of Commerce while visiting Phuket for the island's Sandbox reopening on July the 1st. The Chamber president subsequently tested positive for the virus. Now, following a third negative test, the PM's decided to return to the workplace. It's understood that his close aides and security team have also tested negative. The PM's first job today was attending a briefing from the Operations Centre of the government's COVID-19 task force before being in a meeting of the CCSA by video conference. A 39-year-old monk who works in a temple in central Thailand's Pathum Thani says the province's daily cremations have spiked recently as the surge in COVID deaths continues to grow. Pong Pech says his temple previously cremated 2 to 3 people a month, but now the number is 6 times that number. The monk says he hasn't seen any of his fellow monks for some time as he's been just too busy cremating bodies. They've added an extra crematorium, but they say the temple will continue to provide free cremation services to people who died from COVID. At this time, most of the family and friends can only attend the services and cremations by watching on their smartphones as the temple takes precautions. Indonesia has become the epicentre of COVID-19 in Asia as the daily case count has exceeded India's. The country reported over 56,000 new cases and 982 coronavirus-related deaths yesterday. This surpasses India's count of 39,000 new cases and 544 deaths. With the highest number of daily cases, the country of 270 million people is now the new COVID hotspot in Asia, and if the spread continues at its current rate, experts say it could send the nation's healthcare system into chaos. But to put all that into perspective, per capita, it's about the same rate of new cases as Thailand at this time. Most Southeast Asian countries, Singapore is the glowing exception, are currently going through a significant surge in new cases, partially driven by the Delta variant of COVID-19. Well, that's all the main stories from around Thailand today. Thank you very much to Jet for helping during the week, and also Jay on Good Morning Thailand. You can catch Good Morning Thailand, a sort of a slightly different version of the day's news, at 9 a.m. live Monday to Friday, and of course you can watch it anytime during the day. Don't forget our Thaiger Talk forum. You can register for that and join the conversation. In the meantime, have a fantastic weekend. We look forward to seeing you again next week.